All right, what's up, traders? Another quick video here, just a little update. Today is Tuesday the 26th. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. You can see that we are currently above weekly resistance. I got the 2021 high week close right here. Basically, that's just the highest weekly close we've ever gotten on Bitcoin. That area could potentially be support moving forward. If we go in here to the smaller daily time frame, you can see today struggling a little bit. We did take out yesterday's high. Monday was a really good day for Bitcoin as it did take out that high that I was looking for it to take out. If we scroll back over here to the 4-hour time frame, you can see this area right here is that area that I was watching, and we did get a nice solid candle breakout. So we could drop back down as low as 67, 890-ish for a retest of this area here. And that's definitely where we would like to see support hold. For the rest of the markets, it's not really doing much. The dollar, here we go into the daily time frame. Obviously, it's just Tuesday, so you got Monday's trade. And then today's trade, dollar looked like it was going to pull back a little bit. It almost tested Friday's open and then got bullish. Intraday, it looks like this. Nice little ultimate push going up there. Crazy wick candle over there. Don't know what that is. Moving on to the S&P 500. You can see basically here's yesterday. All right. That's all of yesterday's trade. Didn't really do nothing at all. Small gap down, traded up, and then ended up closing low. And then this morning we gapped up. This blue line is where we closed Friday's trade. So that's going to be basically the midpoint of the weekly expected move. And you can see from yesterday to today, there is literally not done much. If we go look at it on the daily time frame, beautiful. You can see here, I mean, since it did get that breakout and gap up, it's literally just had very small range days. Gapping down. Today was the first day that we gapped up. I was expecting it to retest this area as this was a nice breakout area. It hasn't done that yet. I don't know if it will now that Bitcoin is, it's starting to be risk on again. So let's go look at the IWM real quick. Over here on positions. TLT is also something that I'm watching. If we can close today above this area, this is going to be March open. That's what it is. There's the February close. So if March open can hold today, I might take a long position and just look for it to maybe go back up and potentially test that trend line. But that's if the March open holds. There is literally, if we go over here to the monthly time frame, you can see literally there are 2 days and 4 hours left on this March open. All right, so March open is going to be very important for today and tomorrow and the next day. Thursday is going to be the last day of trade for this market. So if this area can hold, I might potentially take a long. And it'd be an easy way to manage risk because a simple daily close under it, you could just bounce if you wanted to and maybe wait for a full-on test of 92.35, see if we get it or not. And then ultimately the IWM here, we did get the breakout, daily close above. That's what we were looking for. And then we did have a little bit of bullish continuation. Unfortunately, it was pre and post market where we gapped up really big on this day here, which was Friday 08 of March. The 8th, you had a nice run higher, and then the rest of the day sold off. And then a straight down move back into the range, coming really close to testing the 2024 yearly opening range and then having a nice pop back up above that resistance. So I am taking a long today on IWM. And if we close a daily back under 204.82, I will exit that position and look for an entry possibly a little bit lower. If we get under the 2024 yearly opening range, I am not doing anything. The gold trade that I am currently in right now is still basically pulled back into this area of potential support. It has held on many occasions since this daily close under. Nice rebound here. Retest. We got to move up. Today we're testing yesterday's open. If this can hold, above 2045, I will hold this position, looking for gold to break back out. But as long as the dollar continues with strength, then gold will struggle, and this trade will ultimately probably be closed. So I'm not planning on holding it much longer, because basically this has been sideways long enough. If it's going to have bullish continuation with the breakout that it's just had, I want to see it start to move pretty quick, right? I mean, a little accumulation is good, but I don't like it when it trades sideways for multiple weeks. We go into the weekly here. You could see here's your initial weekly breakout, retest, got a new fresh all-time high, pulled all the way back, and this week we're just trading inside of last week's range. So that's going to be important there as well. I mean, we do want to see higher closes on the weekly, but weekly res is ultimately going to be right there at 2179 spot 105. And I'd love to see a close above that this week. That would be fantastic, because then we would have a high week close for 2024, and it would also be the high week close of all time, and that could act as a nice launch off point. But there is trendline resistance coming in here. This is going to act as resistance, as it did here for very many weeks in a row. All right, it ultimately held there as well. So it is like the midpoint of it. So I do want to see it break out and get some bullishness and go up there and test 2446. If we can get that, then that AU trade will do fantastic. Of course, that is this right here. So want to see this get some bullish moo as well, as we've been basically trading inside this range for 3 weeks now. Like I said, I want to see it start to move away from this area and potentially give me a measured move up there to $28. That would ultimately bring about the potential for max profit. If I could get it up at $28, I could close that position. But I don't know if that's what's going to happen. That's just what I'm looking for here and expecting to play out. The rest of everything isn't doing very good. We are getting a little bounce on Tesla today. Tesla is getting just a little bit of a bounce. There was somebody that said that Tesla was a sell, and they put their price target much lower, and that's probably why we got the bounce today. But it's ultimately, it's just a lower high. Every single one of Tesla's highs have been sold into, so I wouldn't have doubted if this one doesn't get sold into as well. It really needs to get back above the 50 on the RSI, retest it from the above side of the indicator, and then you could potentially look to buy at an old resistance or an old support level with it when it's testing that 50. And that would be the last shot I would give to it, as it is kind of came in and tested this trend line from this low to this low, and we ultimately tested it here last week, so you can see there. But getting a little bounce, but still, ultimately, it's just another lower high. It did clear this swing high, but it has not cleared this swing high yet. And ultimately, that's pretty much the one I would want to see Tesla get a nice close above and then come back in somewhere around 190-ish for a retest and a higher low support formed. You do have earnings coming up Wednesday, April 17th. So earnings is getting close. Last thing I wanted to say on Bitcoin, and we'll wrap this up, is simple. We are literally 4 weeks away, counting the rest of this week. You can see today's just Tuesday, so you got the rest of the week before this candle fills out. Then you only have 1, 2, 3 more weeks, and we will be close or at the halving in another 3 weeks. So the halving is getting closer and closer. And here was the last time Bitcoin had a sideways weekly price action where it was just, bouncing around outside of the range, but ultimately closing candles inside of the range. All right. So, and this lasted for many weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks before it broke out. So we could get something like that going into the halving, and then maybe a 3 or 4 week drop, and then rock and roll. Or we may not rock and roll. Nobody knows what price is going to do, but I do like the fact that we are coming into the halving. Looking at the 21 on the weekly, you can see that you are so very much extended. I mean, a pullback to retest that 21 would be at hand, I would assume, as you almost got it here right before the breakout. So I want to see sideways consolidation and then a dip down, test this 21. I want to see the 21 hold, and then I want to see Bitcoin start to rip moon. And we'll see if that happens or not. Ultimately, I'll remain bullish on Bitcoin as long as it's trading above the yearly opening range down there at $42,288. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you guys trade safe, trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.